down, 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 down. What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all from Clayton County, Georgia. Here in pretty much the absolute middle of nowhere. And this site, this land, this area, this was the backdrop for the 1972 hit film Deliverance. Now, in the synopsis of the film, you have 4 businessmen from Atlanta, Georgia, who are wanting to take one last kayaking trip along this river that is about to be dammed by this nearby dam. Now, this movie is based off a book written in 1970 by James Dickey. By the way, he actually adapted this the book into a screenplay. So this screenplay was written by him as well. And this film also starred Jon Voight, Burt Reynolds, of course, Ned Beatty, and Ronnie Cox. But you all are probably wondering why we are here at this rafting outfitter, and that is because here in their gift shop they have a very rare piece of film history. What that is they have a screen-used canoe that was used in the movie Deliverance. And by the way, if y'all noticed this, there are a lot of dead dragonflies out here. Maybe mayflies? I'm not too sure. But let's get inside. Let's check it out. Well, darn it. Well, looks like it is closed. I wonder if there's a way we can see it from where we're at right now. So, of all the luck that I have, it's closed. And actually, guys, it looks like we can see it. There to the left, that is an actual screen-used canoe that was used in the film. The owners of this rafting outfitter, they were used as stunt doubles that were being also using this canoe. I forgot how many canoes they used in total. I think it was about 4 or 5. But yeah, here in this rafting outfitter, here is the canoe. I do apologize that we can't go much closer than this, but I mean, it's the next best thing. So I guess what I'll do is I'll show some pictures of what it looks like at the bottom. But yeah, that is an actual screen-used canoe, and it is also a great piece of Hollywood history. Well, that sucks. I really wanted to see the canoe. But anyway, guys, we are going out to the next filming location, which really isn't all that far from here. You see, most of Deliverance was filmed along a 2-mile or a 10-mile stretch along the Chattooga River. And this is where a lot of scenes were filmed, but one spot in particular we will be checking out. It's called Bull Sluice, and that is where we'll just say one of the PG-13 rated scenes was filmed, and also where Burt Reynolds and his friends are going down the river, and they see the boy that they saw at the general store looking back at them from a wooden bridge. We're gonna hopefully line that up frame for frame. So anyway, you guys, let's get to it. Here at the Chattooga River access points, or I should say more specifically the Bull Sluice access point along the Chattooga River, this is where 3 primary scenes were filmed in Deliverance. You see, along this trail right here, this is where the infamous quote, "Make you squeal like a pig," comes from. You see, this is where Jon Voight's character Ed Gentry and Ned Beatty's character Bobby Tripp, this is where they encountered the 2 mountain men that did not want money, but they did want something else. You see, As Ed and Bobby witness these two mountain men come out from the mountains with their shotguns, one of them only having 2 teeth, they get into an argument. And now this argument leads to the two men, Ed and Bobby, stripping down to barely nothing. And these two mountain men, essentially, to keep it PG rated, we'll just say that they were emasculated. That is the proper word. Two grown mountain men emasculated Ed and Bobby. Now Burt Reynolds' character, Lewis Medlock, he was hiding in the woods in this area, and he was waiting on them with his bow and arrow. He shoots one of these mountain men, killing him, and from there the other one gets away. Now, after having this happened, the 4 men, they get into an argument on what they want to do with the body of this mountain man. They really don't know what to do with the body, so in the end they wind up putting to a vote that they would just bury this mountain man out here in the woods, and they would keep going on about their trip. Alrighty guys, this is where the that other scene was that I was telling you. I did not realize that it is on the beach side put in of this area. So anyway, we're gonna go over to this spot and we're gonna line this up. And if you all didn't know, the studio that created Deliverance, they were trying so hard to kill this film, even so much as making the men do their own stunts. In fact, John Voight, in one scene where he is shown climbing up the cliff, that is actually him. And even Burt Reynolds, in order to do a reshoot, he put himself in the actual canoe that collapsed and crashed to make it look real. Actually, at one point, Burt Reynolds, he ended up winding up going to the ER. He made a jump from one of the cliffs, from a waterfall, and anyway, during the entire shoot, he just dealt with it, but he wound up going to the ER. And by the way, this is where that filming location is that I was telling you all about. You see, before this bridge was ever dug out and made, there used to be a big giant log tree that used to go across the river. And as the 4 men are going down this stretch of river right here, they look up and they see the boy staring back down at them. The same boy who Ronnie Cox's character Drew gets into a, I guess what you could say, a musical duel with this young boy. This young boy has a banjo. Drew, he has himself a guitar, and the two, they spar off, they play dueling banjos, and in the end, Drew wins, the boy doesn't. But as everybody is seemingly happy and cheery at the gas station, well, this young boy isn't. In fact, as he shakes every other man's hand, he doesn't to Drew. But that leads us to why we are here. You see, as these men are going down the river, they look on this wooden, this small makeshift bridge, and they see the boy looking down back at them as they go down the river, seemingly to a lot of trouble. The other scene, that is along Bull Sluice. That is also where the 4 men, their canoes collided with one another, and they went downstream. Now here's where the other major filming location is in this particular area of Blue Slough. You see, this is where the canoes collided and crashed into one another, which surprisingly, this is not all that far away from the rafting outfitters. But imagine the 3 men, they're floating down the river, And Lewis, he is hiding somewhere for the other mountain man. Kind of very scary to think. So now, let's head on to the next spot. I find that so interesting that both spots, where the canoe is located and where a lot of the scenes were filmed, are all just right across the river. But you guys, we are heading to the next spot. Hopefully it's maybe a little more cooler. Might take a swim. Now that was a drive. We drove all the way through the mountains to get here. And this next spot that we are coming up to, this is called Deliverance Rock. This is another filming location where the guys were going down in the river and ultimately losing their canoe, their marbles, and, well, Drew, he almost lost his life. And now, while we were out here, I found out about these headstones right here. You see, in the movie, as Burt Reynolds and his friends are coming off a very, very horrible ride down the river, they come across this cemetery and this church. Well, in real life, the river that was about to be dammed, well, in real life, it was a real river that was about to be dammed. The current church in that cemetery sits under 130 feet of water, but I figured since we were coming out here to the falls, we would pay our respects to these people who are buried here. Ham Kirby was born 1842 to 1892. Then you also had Ham Kirby, well, actually, my apologies, both the same. Well, actually, no, all these headstones are dedicated to the same gentleman. He was born September 19th, 1842. Here is his original headstone, carved in sandstone, and he was a part of the Confederate States of America. And then you also have this one right here. And I am believing that these are his family members as well, who are buried here. So now let's check out this rock, Deliverance Rock. Actually, I'm gonna have to cut this one short because it's starting to rain and thunder, and I'm honestly not sure how far away Deliverance Rock is. So here's what I'll do. This is a picture of it. I really hope that's acceptable enough, you guys, but I figure, you know what, I'll make it up to y'all. There's one more spot we're going to, and this is probably one of the most important scenes from Deliverance. So let's get to the car. Now, it might not look like much, but in fact, the property that this house sits on now, this is where the Mass General Store sat, where the four men came together, and this is where the infamous scene between the young boy who played banjo and Drew. Anyway, this is where the duel went on, and this is where they played. And, well, obviously, the house has long since been gone. There's not really anything left, which is kind of sad considering, you know, this movie was such a big part of cinema history. Now, we're not going to stay by too long, just because I want to be respectful to the property owners. But just think, a major piece of Hollywood history occurred where that house sits now. I mean, it's absolutely crazy to think about. And I think these chicken houses right here, I think that these were a part of the film as well. I think anyway, don't quote me on it. But anyway, guys, let's get on the road. This has been a rather interesting vlog to make. I guess this is one of those things where, You go in thinking that you know what you're talking about, or that you know where said locations are, and by the time you get here, the GPS, the coordinates, everything is just totally off. You can't find anything to save your life, and quite honestly, you get taken out in the middle of nowhere, just as I did today. However, I mean, I still got a lot of good stuff. I really wish I had been able to see the canoe up close. I'm kind of mad that I drove 3 hours and they were closed, of all things. But you know, I'm gonna go ahead and put this video up. I thought really about not posting it just because there's just so many things wrong with it, but you know what, you guys, one day I'll go back and I'll refilm this. But in the meantime, I hope you all enjoy what I do have today. You know, not every video will always be the greatest. But anyway, guys, as I'm driving back to Cleveland, Tennessee, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that y'all want to see more awesome videos. So without further ado, you guys, this vlog is over.